if everybody's there, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. And I need to get a motion to approve August meeting minutes, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Elizabeth and who?
That was me, Lawrence.
Okay.
And Lawrence.
Thank you.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And since I'm not there, I don't see any public there. Is there any public on Zoom?
No, sir.
All right, then I guess we can skip the public comments and move on to new business, which I don't see anything on our agenda.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I didn't have any new business from the city side. Kept it on the agenda just in case any members had it. I will say, I think in our new business section, we've been discussing that 5-year long-term strategic plan. I unfortunately just ran out of time on compiling everything, so we'll have that compiled and to the group with notes and everything we discussed thus far for our next meeting.
Perfect. Thank you, Chance. Then we're on to reports. So the police are first. If Lieutenant Nichols is available. There.
Lead Lieutenant is absent. He had a prior commitment, so this might be a quick meeting.
Okay. We're on to WDI.
I do have an email from him with the stats if you guys wanted to hear it. Sorry. I should have sent that to you, Chance.
Rather than take up the time of the meeting, just if you want to just forward those to everybody, Veronica, that'd be great.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we're on to WDI.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. So we have been working to get started on this peer survey, and I just provided a quick hit PDF. I'd like to introduce you guys to my business outreach and marketing assistant, Caitlin Adkins. She's here with us today. She is the full-time employee WDI hired earlier this summer to help conduct the survey, along with a number of other tasks, just as support to me in conducting all the activities of WDI. So just as a quick hit overview, Caitlin has been able to survey 27 businesses so far, and as of today. We have hit everything from Better Basket all the way to the Olive Shop, and here are a number of the retail shops that we've hit, just provided a quick hit list. Below you see our point and location map for these businesses. So they're sprinkled throughout there. You might not be able to see it because it's really small on the screen, but color categories is the type of business that we've been able to survey. It's everything from apparel to clothing, jewelry stores, bars, bookstores, coffee shops, grocery stores, Pilates studio, restaurant and retail.
I don't see can anyone on Zoom see the presentation? Okay.
Is that
we can't see it.
All right, hang tight, Veronica. I can't work on that. Got it now? All right, excellent.
Yep.
All right, so the focus of this has been to really take a look at those core businesses first within the Municipal Services District. So Caitlin's done a good job of focusing around some of those along North Front Street and to the south, in South Front Street as well. And then through the business contacts, we have been asking about concerns and ease of business in downtown. And so we're using this as both a data generator and also an input generator for the MSD. A list of major concerns and major benefits. So unhoused being one of the top concerns of the general businesses within our district. Construction being another, lack of police officers. The Azalea Festival was a major concern in how it's set up, overflowing trash cans. So these are all concerns that, yes, we are aware of, as you know, on this side of the MSD, but from the business ownership, it's good to see these things highlighted as areas of concern for them as well. And then as far as the benefits, of course, foot traffic, new apartments, the hotels, everybody is very consistent in reporting those two as being benefits to not a hindrance. That business has been better since COVID, and just the overall aesthetics of being in a historic district. And then the Live Nation concerts are another key point of benefit for the business owners, or for the businesses that were surveyed. And below is just kind of a rundown of some of the concerns and benefits quotes from the business owners as Caitlin was able to get them. So we can provide a copy of this report if you're interested in reading more thoroughly. But this is, I think these 4 quotes kind of touch on what business ownership has to say about being and doing business downtown. And then on the next slide, just shows you how many businesses from each category were surveyed. You know, as we continue to move throughout the district, these will fill out much, much more. So less than 5 business owners were surveyed, but a number of tenants out of the 27 were surveyed. And then on the last sheet, this is just an example of what the report is able to generate. On the next slide, Chance, if you could, there we go, of what the system is able to generate as far as charts and graphs. So this is one highlighting what the leasing rates are like downtown. And then the other is the total part-time and full-time employees per industry that we're surveying. So we're getting some good data so far. I hope to have at least 100, Caitlin, surveyed before the end of the year. So we still have a lot of work to do. We would have had more, but we had a 320 plus person event happen in early September, and a few more kinks to get out with the peer platform in the interim as Caitlin started her work. But I'm pleased with what she's been able to accomplish so far, and hope to have more for you in the next quarter.
Can we office users?
Yes, we will add. So there's one office user. We surveyed Common Desk since naturally we are in Common Desk, and that is under the category of flexible office space. So when we survey an office tenant, an actual office tenant, we will include that. Are there any questions, concerns, thoughts?
Very good.
That's great.
I think it's good.
Quick, you know, we just thought about this pretty recently. That's just an incredible turnaround. Don't have much to talk right now.
Christina, would you prefer to hold on to this and keep adding to it, or do you want to send this out to the committee members as is currently?
We can send it out to the committee as is, because this is what we have as of today.
Okay.
And we will continue to build on this over the next quarter. So hopefully in Q3, January, we'll have a little bit more of an update to give you guys on what our business district is looking like.
Caitlin, what was the overall receptiveness to this, and what was your feeling in the 27 you've done of, is it very favorable down here? Is it, you have a lot of work to do?
It actually is. A lot of business owners, especially Isaac Spencer in particular, he was really excited to see something like this start downtown, and people are looking forward to it kind of being like a collaborative database. And I think it helps that I'm, you know, in person, so people are willing to do it. I've only a couple times have had people ask me to come back tomorrow or something at a better time, but 9 times out of 10, they do it right when I just walk up. So it's been really receptive for sure.
That's great.
And also add that Caitlin has lived downtown and worked downtown for a number of years, and has a good relationship already established with a lot of the business ownership here. So it's one of the reasons why I brought her on board to do this, because she already had built those relationships instead of hiring somebody from the outside coming in and not really knowing the lay of the land per se. So that's all from WDI and on the pier. I'm happy to go through the monthly report as well. So we conducted a number of special projects over the course of the MSC program. In August, we conducted a pressure washing on the North 4th Street Bridge. That was greatly received by the folks in the Brooklyn Arts District. There's been a lot of issues underneath the bridge. A lot of them, Chance and I, between MSD, city, and the business ownership in around the 4th Street Bridge, we've been able to tackle a number of issues that have come out there. So I want to thank the city.
Yeah, there were a lot of folks to thank for that effort. And, even though there seemed to be some confusion in front end and some delays, once we got things together, it was quick action by City's Public Service team, City's Public Rec team, the MSD team, the MSD ambassadors, myself, Christina, WPD, as well as C2A. So it was a multi-pronged effort by a lot of folks, and I think we got a very positive response. So I think the goal now is to help keep it that way.
Yeah, if we can keep it from returning to the condition it was last month, it will be a great success. And Chance and I have been super hands-on with this. We've visited the bridge ourselves, taken pictures of the buckets of feces under the bridge and all the trash that was in it. So it was a huge effort, and so I'm really, really proud of this accomplishment for the business ownership and the residents too that live there. We did a landscaping and litter removal in Quebec Alley and Wright Alley. We removed 15 bags of trash and some biohazardous materials from behind the Water Street condominiums. There was an encampment that was behind there that has been there for many, many months, and we finally just cleared it out. And it has not returned as far as I know as of last week. We have done really well in statistics, 19% increase in hospitality contacts year over year for the month of August, 63% increase in our motorist assists, 25% increase in our business contacts. We've also seen a decline in aggressive and passive panhandling. I know that's hard to believe, but we do take note of the amount of panhandlers and panhandling activity, and at least for the month of August, we did see a noticeable decline. So we have a number of upcoming projects too, so look for these. We'll continue watering the jasmine off of North 3rd Street. If you recall, we spent, the MSD, you all approved the $20,000 to infuse into those 3rd Street beds and into planting beds on Front Street. The jasmine has flourished. We've only lost it. And I've been really excited about the progression of those plants after planting them back in June. We will do another cleanup of the 3rd Street Bridge, and we'll continue tree well maintenance in the core zone, and we'll do some alley pressure washing as well. And not on here, but we have hired another ambassador. Unfortunately, we lost Shanta, and we have since hired Michonne onto our team. He was one of our part-time hospitality ambassadors for the summer. He did a phenomenal job of handling the hospitality and cleanliness of the district in his part-time role, and now he is a full-time member of our team. So look for his photo coming in the next MSD report for the month of September. Overall, great report. Outreach statistics were really high. We housed 11, sheltered 6, and had 59 quality of life issues that were addressed and brought 8 to detox or rehab. So Jack has been working very, very hard over the past month to make sure some of the issues that we're seeing are being handled throughout the district. And then so total overall outreach referrals were at over 500 for the month of August. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Good job on the tangible. I mean, we can't see the good fruit that comes from the service connections, but which is important, right? Detox and medication assistance. But for us to be able to see the tangible, I think is kind of what people are looking for. So that's good.
Yep. Great job. Any other questions? Comments, concerns? Then we'll move on to the city.
Looks like I have officially 43 minutes to go through my life I've ever had. So I'll take my time, but I promise to get us out of here by 3:30. How about that? Big city project coming up. Should be quick, hopefully painless. City's public services team is resurfacing several blocks downtown in October, early November. The 0, 100, and 200 block of Market Street, the 100 block of Princess, the 100 block of South Front, 100 and 200 block of South Second, and the 200 block of Orange Street. And when I say resurface, it's not a full-blown streetscaping like we did on Front Street over the last 2 years. It's really a quick rip and replace of blacktop. Depending on the conditions, it should be pretty quick. Each block, best case, they could be in and out of there on a certain block within a night or two. Worst case, kind of depends on the conditions, but it shouldn't be too long of a project. It will be loud. It will be dirty at times. We did some outreach at the last DEA meeting in September. Took some good, healthy notes. I think the majority of this work is going to be done at night, minus the residential streets. Residential streets will be done during the day to avoid some of that overnight noise and really overnight impact. I'd be happy to send this out to the group just so everyone's aware. If you guys know anyone in those areas that have questions, concerns, yourself, questions, concerns, let me know. I'll send it to MSD, and I'll also send it out to Greystar just so they can distribute it internally to the road replace development. But there were some concerns at DBA, as Terry heard, but I think there was a lot of input, and I think that input has really helped guide them on specific days or specific blocks and timing around some specific things. Next on the list, the city is beginning its process of transitioning from its core city offices down here at 305 Chestnut and at City Hall. The beginning of that relocation begins end of next week and should transition through the end of October. If everything goes as planned, the majority of 305 Chestnut and pretty much all of City Hall will be up at 929 North Front Street by the end of October. The goal currently is to move those offices that are going into 10, 11, and 12 into spaces that are going to need minimal construction, minimal work. Most of these areas are move-in ready. So we're moving in 10, 11, and 12 over the next 30 plus days. Planning department will remain at 305 Chestnut for a bit because they're going to be on the bottom floor. A lot of rehab work, a lot of construction work to fit them in there. As well, the offices that are going to be on the third floor, 929 North Front Street, which include engineering, WPC, and a few others will be a little bit later to get moved in. So a good chunk of those offices will be transitioned by the end of October. Might be challenging, both for internal city as well as external public stakeholders. If you guys have any questions, concerns, any impacts to any city services that anyone collectively has issues with, feel free to reach out to me and I'll make sure it's relayed and we connect anyone and everyone to the right person.
When do you foresee this building moving over in our meetings?
Possibly soon. Pretty much, it's a great question. Pretty much everyone housed in this building, the Harrelson building here, which is currently budget, fire marshal's office, communications, and HR, they're part of that October move. So I could see us staying here maybe through the end of the calendar year. Potentially sooner up there.
Can we move it over there for fun? Like, can we just do the next one over there?
Sure.
I would love to just go see it.
What I would say is maybe November, because we'll be moving. We may have to proactively cancel the Thursday, October meeting because that week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is when my group is moving. So I don't know that we're going to be ready or very challenged to have this meeting in October, but yeah, we plan on November inaugural meeting. The stars align.
I love that planning will be on the ground floor. That makes so much sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, a lot of the the plan is a lot of the forward facing public entities, planning, CPA payments, tax payments, fire marshal's office, community forward facing side of community services and housing, all be on the ground level. So it should be pretty easy access.
Meeting rooms.
There are lots of meeting rooms. Yeah. There's dozens of meeting rooms throughout the city's floors. 1, 3, 10, 11, 12. I think there's
In this interstate, right?
In this interstate. So big changes coming up for all of Wilmington, including city staff. So
if we drive there for a city meeting, we have free parking.
we'll have to work on that.
You don't want to walk.
Bill, I told you we're good. Don't talk about parking in this meeting.
Oh, sorry.
That's a great question, and you know, long term, you got to think most of the city committee meetings will be at the building. Planning, HPC, work adjustments, DPAC, MSD. That's like 7 or 8 others. So yeah, that's a great question. There's some logistics we're gonna have to. There is a 32 space surface lot directly out front there. The assumption right now would be managed probably pretty closely to how we manage the 305 Chestnut lot, where it's 2-hour visitor park. So that should be an easy initial option. You can walk, right?
Yeah. You can walk.
That's farther. It's 2 blocks farther.
What else? 2 parking capital projects coming up: Market Street parking deck and the Convention Center parking deck. We've got plans for some structural rehab happening there. It should be too impactful. Definitely want to be as impactful to the customer side as the Second Street parking deck. Was 2 big events coming in October that are always logistical, sometimes challenges, but logistics anyway involved with Riverfest, which I believe is the first week in October 6th and 7th, Friday and Saturday. The other big one in October is the Ironman Triathlon. That one shuts down some streets on Friday and pretty much most of Saturday. If you'd like, we can send those event details to the group, just so everyone's aware. And then Bill and everyone related to River Place, they normally send those out to Jennifer at
right.
That's
good. That's good.
So I mean, she just repeats it because you guys always are kind of nestled down within some of those barricades. So
yes. Does the city have control now over the thermal fissure now in terms of the parking and everything right now? So you're in control. So for live events, Live Oak, when are you going to be able to allow people to park?
So parking deck, 1,022 space parking deck. We took kind of hands-on control August 1st.
Okay.
We have opened for every Live Nation concert since August 6th. I think we've done 6 or 7 concerts. We are just opening right now for concerts. Meetings within the building, such as fire department has a big training session, CQA and a big training session, and then build-in attendance only. Our goal to open for the public 24/7 on that parking side is hopefully end of October.
Good revenue source for you guys.
Yeah, it's been good. We've parked anywhere from, I think the first event was on Sunday. We parked, I don't know, 150 cars. I think we've gone all the way from 400 for Tyler Childers. So it's kind of varied up and down depending on the day of the concert, type of concert, volume of attendees. But it's been a huge asset to that North End, especially with the
Okay, I took some notes from our DPAC meeting this morning. The Tyler Childress had I hope I took these correctly, $4,680 in revenue from that. Master masters of something.
Hip hop.
Yeah, it's 1,040 in revenue, and then widespread panic was 5,420.
That was a big concert.
I saw the city people watching widespread panic from the top deck of the PPD. No, I'm kidding.
Is that right?
I hope you were.
You can hear them from where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope everyone, speaking of widespread panic, whether you like the music genre or whatnot, I hope everyone kind of recognizes the economic impact of those events. You know, you have nearly 6 hotels sold out downtown,
Right.
a lot of foot traffic, a lot of activity, bodies going into these businesses for 2 if not 3 days in a row. So
the hotel traffic extended outside of downtown as well.
yeah, those are big impacts.
And we're seeing with the short-term rentals, the same people are coming back year over year. You know, this year the fish people was kind of funny. They were, I think, CFOs of big corporations, and they said, "Yeah, we've been a fish fan since high school, so they're spending money."
Fish was the first one that I actually encountered. 2 days midweek, Tuesday and Wednesday, sold out, big crowd. I would say 90% of the folks I encountered for those 2 to 3 days were from out of town and first visits to Wilmington, and it was nothing but rave, positive reviews.
And what a great fan base to evacuate in that terrible weather. Very calm.
That's good.
Only other thing I have, I think I went past my 3:30, so apologies, Tom.
No worries.
Coast Guard property, touched on it last week. Coast Guard, city is purchasing the Coast Guard property there, at the foot of the Princess and Water Street. I believe that ownership changeover happens at the end of this week. Initial plans, I think there's going to be just a few minor safety items along kind of the waterfront side, in between area there. We're going to look at putting just a very high level chain across the area, Chris, you mentioned, where folks are kind of walking through and getting trapped down there.
I was more concerned about the 4th of July. There were people actually sitting at the bulkheads, you know, like probably 1,000 people.
Yep.
And that current moves about 4 knots.
So initially, we're going to do some very high level safety measures. We're not going to shut it down, but we're just going to try to make the perception that folks should not be in there with the right signage to get back on the walk. And then if you walk straight down Princess, kind of into that area that's in between the guardrails and the water barriers the city put up on the south side, left side, it's just going to be a very simple barrier put there initially until we can kind of fully assess.
You don't expect anything like over the next 6 months, kind of more definitive plan on usage?
The current plan that's in place would be what's the word I'm looking for? A streetscaping of the block in front of the courthouse, going up to the parking lot, basically. Basically from Princess South were the initial streetscaping plans prior to the city ownership. We're looking behind the scenes with some minor changes. Those plans are 3 to 4 years old now. We're looking at some minor changes. I would say you could potentially see activity. Need to put a date on a city. Spring. Yeah, I think spring would be spring to early summer could be a tentative mobilization. Now from Princess Street North, where the parking lot is and kind of the current green space, there's no concrete plans there. There's no funding for it. It'll be something we're going to have to get into queue, get some plans, and probably I'd say within the next few years on that portion.
The federal courthouse is looking really good too on Water Street. The sod is down, waiting for the fountain to come back.
So, yeah, I forgot that
It's really nice.
Yeah,
we're already running out the plan around.
Is the building itself going to open?
I don't know. I think there's probably still some internal work, but I think they're getting pretty close.
I've said this before, but something that we could do tomorrow would be to allow street vendors just on that block. I know that we hate street vendors in general, but if you isolate them, it could be a really cool block. It'd be a great place for people to start up a hot dog stand and grow a business from $1,000 the way that you used to be able to. So that would be, there's no investment, there's no design, no voting, you just kind of just do it. But I don't know if MSD recommends that or UDI, or if you guys all think that's a stupid idea because you don't want street vendors.
We used to have.
Yeah,
We used to have it in front of the federal building.
Allowed, I understand why we don't want them everywhere because of many reasons, but if we just have in that block that would activate that riverfront block, you give people a reason to continue along the river. There's no reason to walk in front of the federal courthouse at all. You turn up Market Street, go down front, and then come back down. Maybe you come back down. Yeah, right.
Talk offline.
One thing piggybacking what he just said is when there are these concerts, people are hungry when they're done. And that would tie into, they walk all the way down the street to go, what's open? And nothing's open. Even $1 slice of pizza is not open, which would be a great way of using our Riverwalk of all these people coming in from out of town.
Yeah, there'll have to be, I think on the food truck side, there'll have to be some zoning changes on what's allowable and what's not allowable. I think currently, city code does not allow food trucks on public streets in CBD.
I don't even know if it's food trucks. I think it's hamburgers.
Right.
Yeah, it used to be the
classification is different, but yeah, I understand that.
I go back to what McKay talked about during the strategy planning session, was that maybe with the purchase of the Coast Guard property, we get more green space as well as some place for the kids to play. Because we're lacking green space. I mean, the only green space you have is by Embassy Suite and the Convention Center.
Yeah, I think you'll see, I think just assumption right now, but I think you'll see some green space incorporation into the between Princess and the Palace Hotel, kind of a continuation of that little pocket park intro to the Riverwalk.
That would be a good spot for it.
Yeah, it's just going to take some time to get input, design it, and fund it. Which might play even more into, you know, case ideas.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, that's it for me.
All right,
Sorry.
thanks. If nobody's got any questions, I want to congratulate Christina Haley on being nominated for the Chamber's 40 Under 40. She'll be getting her award this evening. And that was the last comment I had. So if we could get a motion to adjourn.
Yeah. Forever. Second.
Veronica, that was John C. that motioned, and Mr. McKay on the left that second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, everybody. Yep.
Thank you.